Let's talk about perhaps the most controversial aspect of your government's record in office so far, at least in the eyes of the international community. President Duterte's so-called drug war between 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 dead, depending on which figures, which study you look at, including many innocent children. Senior police officers admitting to executing suspects, planting evidence at crime scenes. Is it any wonder that the Catholic Church in your country has described your government's drug war as, quote, a reign of terror?
Well, if you won't believe the Filipinos and won't believe Philippine surveys, let's believe American surveys. The PEW, the Pew, they just came out with a survey that 78% of Filipinos support the crusade against crime, corruption, and drugs. 68% believe that the drug war is actually working. Okay, why? Is it because we believe in human rights violations? We believe in killing people? No. The perception that was thrown to the international community was led by certain human rights groups associated with our opposition and associated with some people in the the Catholic Church. But they did not give the international community the correct facts.
So when you say believe the U.S. and you quote Poland, I'm not disputing that Filipinos support President Duterte and support the. I'm not disputing that.
Yes,
I'm disputing the record. The U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for Southeast Asia says we have a very sustained and deep concern that the drug war is operating outside the rule of law. The growing number of extrajudicial killings is troubling. We have raised those concerns. The U.S. State Department, the Catholic Church, they're all just biased against the Philippines?
Yes, because the point is, Filipinos will not support human rights violations. We're a very spiritual people. Whether Muslim or Christian, Filipinos believe in the dignity of life. If I ask you, Madi, how many extrajudicial killings in the Philippines in 2013 or 2012 or 2011? The minimum was 11,500. The maximum was 16,000.
Okay.
Every year, 11 to 16,000.
So let me just be clear for the record. Let me just be clear. You, as the foreign minister of this government, your position is that a few years ago, under the last government, there were 11,000 deaths. But this year, don't believe any of the numbers about deaths. That's very convenient, isn't it?
That's not.
Everyone died on the last government. Nobody died under your government. Even the human rights groups, the U.S. State Department, the Catholic Church have all attacked you for your record.
That's not at all the point. The point is.
Other people did bad things.
No, the past administration changed the definition.
Okay.
They said it's only extrajudicial if you're a union leader, if you're a religious leader, if you're a journalist, if it's ideological. So they started reporting 50, 100, 150.
Okay.
When Duterte came in, they went back to the old definition, and anyone murdered or killed was charged against the drug war. But the opposite is happening in the country. You have 13 to 16,000 killings because of drugs, not because of the police or the drug war.
But hold on. Your own reports say 3,800 people have died in anti-drug operations.
Yes.
3,800 people?
Yes.
You think that's fine?
Killed
by who? Police officers?
By police
who have admitted that many of those killings were false killings?
No,
that they were dressed up?
That's absolutely not true.
Filipino police have not admitted that?
Absolutely true. Yes.
Filipino police officers have not admitted to any false killings?
Absolutely. There are a couple who we caught.
So they have admitted?
No, they have not admitted because they're guilty. Okay. No guilty guy would admit. There are a couple of policemen who were caught murdering and they're being charged by murder.
So every single one of the 3,500 people who was killed was a drug dealer?
Yes.
How do we know that? You didn't try them, you didn't prosecute them, you didn't charge them, you shot them on sight. That's not a democratic way of solving crime, is it?
You're absolutely saying it as if you're not on the ground. Come and look. So if I pull a gun on you here right now and you shoot me, it's your fault?
Hold on.
My fault?
That's not what I asked. I said 3,500 people have been killed by the police.
3,500 people.
Are they all criminal drug dealers? How do we know that?
Because
none of them were tried. Normally you arrest someone and put them on trial. The Philippines are just killing people left, right, and center.
So you mean in the U.S. or even in any country your show is shown, if someone pulls a gun on the police, they have to bring them to court first before they fire back? The police are doing what they can.
Can we trust the Philippine police?
Yes.
The president doesn't trust them.
We don't, Filipinos...
Your president doesn't trust your police, you know that, right?
They don't trust the rogue police.
No, that's not what he said. Listen, President Duterte said, you policemen are the most corrupt. You are corrupt to the core. It's in your system. That doesn't sound like rogue. It's in your system.
Last time I checked, hyperbole and figures of speech are allowed.
40% of the police in the Philippines are corrupt, he says. Is that true or false?
That's his estimation. The chief of police estimation is 2%.
So who's right, the president or the chief of police? I can't believe you're throwing your boss under the bus.
I'm not throwing him under the bus. What I'm
Is the
saying
president correct
is that
40% of the Philippine police, it's a simple yes or no answer. Is he correct, in your view, that the Philippine police, 40% of them are corrupt?
when you make an estimation,
Is it a correct estimation?
you do not know.
Is it a
what
correct estimation?
That is his
Maybe it's 30 or
estimation.
50.
That's not the point. The point is he's trying to clean up the police, and he admits
Okay, so he's
that
trying to
there
clean.
is a problem.
Fine. So there's a problem. He's trying to clean up. It may be 40%. It may be a little bit less than 40%.
Yes.
But those same police have killed 3,500 people, and you're not saying we should trust those police.
No,
that your
we're
president
not saying we
doesn't
should trust them. We said we should follow the law, which is presumption of regularity, but investigate.
How many investigations have there been into the 3,500 killings?
3,500.
There have been
Every
3,500
single
killings.
one of them are being investigated.
Most independent observers have said there have not been investigations
That's
of all
not
of those
true.
killings.
That's not true. Independent investigators have seen the progress. It is the ideological and the biased human rights groups. They said there are 3,000 cases. They pick out 28 cases. No scientific method of picking out 28. They only interviewed the families of the death of the alleged pushers. They did not interview anyone from the government. So is that fair to you? And then they came up with their findings, generalizing the 3,000 from the 28 without interviewing the other side. And then what did their report say? That they believe that possession of drugs should be legalized. So you tell me, is that a kind of group that is there to investigate or has already made a judgment? For them, any country that does not legalize the possession of drugs is not handling the drug case properly. We've invited them to investigate. Now, let me tell you where the confusion comes in. Western countries use heroin, marijuana, and also cocaine. None of these drugs is associated with violence and paranoia to the users. It's the drug sellers who fight it out. But methamphetamine hydrochloride has been proven by the WHO, by the UN Office of Drugs Crimes, to have paranoia and violence.
Shouldn't you treat these people, not just shoot them in the head? You're cutting funding.
Yes,
you're cutting funding your government for rehabilitation centers.
That's not true.
Yes, you are.
No, it's not. We're not
cutting. $60 million to $15 million.
That's not true.
For 2018.
Well, that's not
what's
true.
in the budget. Okay.
It's going into the buildings. And we're putting up billions worth of drug centers all around.
Do you agree it's better to treat drug addicts than shoot them in the head?
Yes, but if they have a gun and they're going to shoot you...
All 3,500 people had guns?
Yes, more than that.
That's not the case.
Sir,
okay.
maybe come to the Philippines and see, because you're talking from space with what you're saying now.
Okay.
You asked
with respect, I've quoted the U.S. State Department, Amnesty, Human Rights Watch, and the Philippine Catholic Church, and you're saying I'm in space. I can't do anything. I can only give you those references.
Come to the Philippines and see whether it's safer now or in the U.S. State Department. I talked to them about it.
Yeah.
They said that the Philippines threaten both pushers and users. I talked to our ambassador. And it's a wrong translation.
Okay, wrong translation. On the subject of wrong...
The president was speaking in Filipino.
On the subject of wrong translations, as foreign minister, is it hard for you to do your job and travel around the world when, let me finish the question, when you have a president who says stuff like, who jokes about raping a woman, who calls the Pope the son of a prostitute, who calls the US ambassador the gay son of a prostitute? That must be hard for you to be the face of a Philippine government where the president says these outrageous, offensive things.
Not at all. Filipinos are prouder now than ever, because all the things you said was being said by Western media, which the president did not say.
No, the president did say.
No, he did not.
Okay.
Son of a and son of a, the way it said it. Americans sometimes use the F word. Hey, well, get the F out of here.
And what about joking about the rape of a woman, which he later said I wasn't even joking. He came out and said I didn't joke. I meant it.
He did not joke.
Okay.
No, he was talking about what happened in the 80s and what he said and what the context of it. He never jokes about rape. He's very mad about rape. Okay. And Davao is one of the safest places.
I mean, he seems to be the most misunderstood president in the world since Mahmoud Ahmadinejad.
Not in the Philippines.
Okay.
Not in the Middle East.
Okay.
Not in China. Not in Russia.
Okay.
Not the 3.5 million Filipinos in America.
Alan Cayetano? Thanks for joining me on Upfront.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Don't forget to share this video and like our page.